very good evening to you, dear. This is Idea TV News at 9. I am Cynthia Bassi. We begin with the headlines. APWEN inaugurates new president, targets innovation, STEM and growth. Nigeria rolls out app to empower women economically. The Republic of Congo push foreign investment to boost digital infrastructure. And UN Deputy Chief urges nations to expand economic opportunities for women. Nigerian startup TIMON launches app for borderless payment. And away from Africa, Trump administration moves to restrict fired federal workers' appeals. In UK, STARMER rejects calls to resign amid MANDELSON scandal. In business, gold recovers above $5,000 as deep wires return to market. And still in business, CAC records 10,000 daily business registrations following AI adoption. In sport, Davis Cup, Nigeria tennis team promotion celebrated by National Sports Commission. And now the news in full. The Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, APWEN, has inaugurated Chinyere Igwegwe as its 19th president. The ceremony in Abuja was attended by leaders in engineering industry and government, signaling a renewed focus on positioning women engineers as drivers of innovation and economic development. In her address, Igwegwe outlined a strategy centered on research, development and innovation with practical applications in sectors such as energy sustainability, water access, digital transformation, infrastructure and climate adaptation. She also announced plans to expand STEM programs for girls and young women, including robotics competitions to build problem-solving and leadership skills. Emphasizing the importance of gender inclusion, Nigerian Society of Engineers President Ali Rabiu said women's participation in engineering is essential to national development, while industry leaders described empowering women engineers as an economic, not social imperative. APWEN, founded over 40 years ago, continued to champion mentorship, advocacy and policy engagement to strengthen women's role in technology and infrastructure. In another news, the federal government of Nigeria has launched a mobile application to connect women with financial services, skills training and government support programs. The initiative is part of a broader effort to streamline access to resources that were previously spread across multiple agencies. President Bola Tinubu says the platform aims to reach 25 million women nationwide, emphasizing that digital inclusion is essential for effective service delivery and national competitiveness. Users can access funding opportunities, skills development programs, markets connections, and information on government initiatives through the app. The digital platform is designed to overcome geographic and administrative barriers, making it easier for women across Nigeria to access economic support. Authorities hope the app will enhance women's participation in business and strengthen national development. Still in Africa, the Democratic Republic of Congo is accelerating efforts to attract foreign investment for digital transformation. Digital Economy Minister Augustin Kibasa Maliba recently met with firms from the United Arab Emirates and Tunisia to discuss projects including data centers and nationwide digital infrastructure. The government aims to invest $1.5 billion in digital development between 2026 and 2030, strengthening public services, connectivity and technological innovation. Earlier deals include fiber optic expansion, satellite projects and partnerships with U.S., Indian and Mauritanian companies to enhance the country's digital ecosystem. Despite strong growth potential, the DRC faces major structural challenges with limited internet penetration, underdeveloped telecom networks and low cyber security readiness. Officials say the strategic partnership with international investors are critical to bridging this gap and driving socio-economic development through technology. Now, the United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed has called on countries to prioritize economic opportunities for women, highlighting their central role in national development. She made the remarks during a high-level engagement at the United Nations in New York with the founder of Women Leaders Support Advancement, Deborah Jan Haneka, and members of the organizations.
now invite the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Her Excellency Amina Mohammed, to make a statement. The floor is yours, Madam.
Thank you. Excellencies, Ambassador Maritanga and Ambassador Vinas, the co-chairs of our preparatory committee for the Financing for Development 4, Her Excellency Ms. Eva Granados, the Secretary of State for International Development, Spain, Mr. Jean-Noir Lee, our U.S. Chief of DESA, Excellencies, welcome to the second session of the Preparatory Committee for the Financing for Development 4. And I have to say, it's been a long time since I've been in a room where there's been so much energy. The last time was civil society and gender issues. For this to be on finance, clearly it matters that we do have the means of implementation and the countdown for 2030. So thank you all for bringing that energy into this room. At the first PrepCom in Addis Ababa in July, we took stock of our progress since 2015, and we set an ambitious tone for the 4th International Conference on Financing for Development. Shortly after the Addis PrepCom, our co-facilitators issued a call for inputs, generating close to 300 contributions, a truly inclusive stakeholder gathering. This reflects the high expectations that you, member states, and other key stakeholders place on the Financing for Development Summit. These inputs have informed the Elements paper, which includes proposals to deliver transformative change across the Addis action areas in Seville next year. It is a truly ambitious reflection of what everyone is expecting, so high expectations, and therefore we cannot falter. We all know that the SDGs have stalled, and they can only be rescued in the countdown to 2030 that's giving us 5 years by unlocking the scale and the quality of finance required to power investments, by loosening the grip of debt service that is crippling dozens of countries, and by protecting economies from the external shocks that characterize today's interconnected world. Yet, you are all here to maintain the momentum and ensure a high degree of ambition remains. Yesterday's academic day started us off in the right direction, with substantive discussions on the latest research and policy recommendations on the international debt architecture, on feminist fiscal policy to meet the SDGs, and on global tax reform. I hope these panels inspire you as you consider the proposals that are being put forward by the co-facilitators. But let me highlight a few. Domestic resources are at the core of development financing and the compact between citizens and states. No country should fall below a minimum of resources raised so that it can meet the core obligations to its people. It is time for us to establish a commitment to support all developing countries to raise their tax to GDP above 15%. We must also do better in mobilizing private investment. After 10 years of billions to trillions discussions, we still don't see the results at the scale or the impact required. Let's make firm commitments to do better on blending, to focus on impact, to utilize instruments at scale, and to align with national priorities. On international development cooperation, we must revive our discussions around and the commitment to effective support. In addition to increasing international public finance, we must do better with what we have. FFD4 also represents an important opportunity to fulfill the vision articulated in the Pact of the Future on the financial architecture reform. Let us address debt with bold ambition and create a debt architecture that truly empowers sustainable development. Building on important reforms to date, next year's conference should lay out clear and actionable roadmap for expanding the capital bases of multilateral development banks. In Seville, we must transform special drawing rights to make them more effective for future crisis response and unlock their full potential through rechanneling via the multilateral development banks. Finally, at FFD4, we must pledge concrete actions to strengthen the voice and representation of developing countries in international financial institutions, ensuring that they become genuinely inclusive and more effective. This would be real and transformative change. I urge us all to be bold, push the boundaries, find where we can aim higher, and make sure that your reforms match the scale of ambition that is needed for the 2030 agenda. Let us honor those commitments for a more sustainable, peaceful, and prosperous world for all. Thank you.
Mohammed praised Nigeria's efforts in supporting vulnerable women and encouraged WLSA to continue its grassroots-driven initiatives. She stressed that inclusive social and economic opportunities for women remain critical to both national and global development. Honeka reaffirmed WLSA's commitment to empowering disadvantaged women across Nigeria, emphasizing the importance of grassroots interventions and diaspora engagement. She also highlighted global programs supporting women, noting that resilient and prosperous nations are built when women are adequately supported and positioned at the center of progress. Further ahead, a Nigerian fintech startup TIMON is offering a new mobile platform aimed at global travelers, international students, and remote workers. The app combines multi-currency wallets, virtual and physical payment cards, eSIM services, and money transfers in over 100 countries. Since its 2023 launch, TIMON's mobile app has been downloaded more than 50,000 times on Android. Founders Oluwatomi Olarinde and Chizaram Uchiaga designed the platform to provide a seamless, borderless financial experience, including instant card activation online and in-store payments and stablecoin conversions. The startup emphasizes compliance with local international financial regulations, advanced fraud prevention, and data protection. By uniting global payments and financial management in one app, TIMON positions itself as a digital financial passport for mobile Africans and diaspora communities. We now take a quick break. The news continues when we return.
Human augmentation. Human augmentation is enhancing human abilities through exoskeletons, wearable technology, and brain-computer interfaces. For instance, exoskeletons are helping individuals with mobility challenges walk again, while brain-computer interfaces allow users to control devices with their thoughts. However, concerns around accessibility and privacy remain. The market for human augmentation is expected to grow to $298.5 billion by 2027, driven by demand in healthcare, defense, and personal productivity tools.
Good to know that you're still with us. This is Idea TV News at 9. Now, the rest of the news. Away from Africa, the Trump administration is seeking to limit legal options for federal employees who are dismissed from their jobs. A government plan released on today proposes removing the right for fired workers to appeal to the Independent Merit Systems Protection Board. Under the new plan, dismissed employees would instead have the appeal directly to the Office of Personnel Management, which reports to the President. Critics argue the move could reduce impartial oversight and make it harder for federal staff to challenge unfair terminations. Supporters say the challenge will streamline the dismissal process and improve efficiency in federal human resources management. The proposal is now open for review and could face legal and political scrutiny before implementation. Still away from Africa, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has refused to step down despite growing pressure over the MANDELSON scandal. Starmer insisted he will fight to remain in office, dismissing calls from political rivals and critics demanding his resignation. The controversy has intensified following revelations involving former cabinet members, prompting Scottish Labour leader and other opposition figures to urge Starmer to quit. The Prime Minister, however, maintains that he will address the issues while continuing to lead the government. Political analysts say the scandal could test party unity and public confidence ahead of upcoming elections as Starmer seeks to navigate both internal and external pressures without destabilizing his leadership. In business news now, gold prices rebounded about $5,000 per ounce today as investors returned following last week's sharp sell-off, which erased a significant portion of grains from the historic rally earlier in the year. The rebound was supported by renewed buying interest, resilient official sector demand, and selective deep buying, with gold trading at $5,009 per ounce at the time of reporting. Silver rose 5.8% to $82.32, while platinum remained steady and palladium edged higher. The rebound comes after a correction that saw gold fall nearly 10% from its January 29 all-time high of $5,400 per ounce, while silver lost over a third of its value after surging past $120. Central bank demand remains a key factor, with China's central bank extending gold purchases for the 15th consecutive month to diversify reserves without triggering excessive volatility. Market watchers are closely monitoring upcoming U.S. economic data, including jobs and inflation reports, which could influence Federal Reserve policy and impact gold prices. Still in business news, the Corporate Affairs Commission says it now processes around 10,000 business registration requests daily, thanks to the adoption of artificial intelligence across its service platforms. Registrar General Hussaini Magaji made the announcement during the Commission's 35th anniversary lecture in Abuja. Magaji explained that AI has improved the speed, accuracy and efficiency of registrations, handling volumes that were impossible under manual systems. The CSE now also responds to an average of 5,000 daily customer inquiries and has introduced AI-powered tools, including a legal assistant and business name generator, to simplify the registration process. The reforms, supported by a new collaboration with Google, aim to enhance ease of doing business in Nigeria and promote the formalizing of informal enterprises. Stakeholders, including the House Committee on Commerce and NITDA, have pledged ongoing support to ensure transparency, efficiency, and national economic growth through digital innovation. And finally, in sport, Nigeria has secured promotion to the Davis Cup World Group 2 after defeating Uzbekistan in the World Group 2 promotion playoffs at the historic Lagos Lawn Tennis Club 1895. Daniel Adeleye was the standout performer, clinching the decisive points with a 6-3, 6-4 victory over Ilya Ignatov in the reverse singles, giving Nigeria an unassailable 3-1 lead. Earlier, Kanis Abwa and Michael Emmanuel had secured a crucial doubles win, setting the stage for Nigeria's dominance. Reacting to the achievement, NSC Director General Bukola Olopade praised the players, officials and organizers for their efforts. He noted that the promotion reflects renewed enthusiasm for sports in Nigeria and aligns with government support for athletes preparing for global competitions like the Commonwealth and Olympic Games. The promotion marks a major milestone for Nigerian tennis, highlighting the team's growing competitiveness on the international stage and signaling positive progress for the sport in the country. And that's all we have for you on Idea TV News at 9. But before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. We brought you news that APWEN inaugurates new president and targets innovation, STEM and growth. Nigeria rolls out app to empower women economically. And the Republic of Congo pushed foreign investment to boost digital infrastructure, while the UN Deputy Chief urges nations to expand economic opportunities for women. Nigerian startup TIMON launches app for borderless payment. And away from Africa, Trump administration moves to restrict fired federal workers' appeals. A UK STARMER rejects calls to resign amid MANDELSON scandal. In business, gold recovers above $5,000 as deep buyers return to market, and CSE records 10,000 daily business registrations following AI adoption. And in sport, Davis Cup Nigeria tennis team promotion celebrated by National Sports Commission. Now, do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms at Idea Television. I am Cynthia Bassi. Thank you for your time.